COVID, college, and coping. You are not alone. As I write this, it's been 20 weeks since day one, orientation day. Since then, it has been disorientating and confusing, frustrating and challenging, exhausting and defeating. Usually punctual, organised and social, but this year I've struggled. At times, I faded away. I'm sure many people can relate. While in the trenches, I'm still here, albeit more resilient, I think. Nothing made sense. Subconsciously, I was deteriorating. Yet at the forefront of my mind, I kept telling myself, keep going. Stubbornness linked to pride, high expectations contrasted with uncertainty. Clouded thoughts enabled by monotonous routine. As the semester got into full swing, I started to doubt and question my decision to return to postgraduate studies. I wasn't questioning my capabilities. I just couldn't decipher why I was struggling. Since this is my third time attempting to return to postgraduate studies, previously, for one reason or another, it didn't work out. I felt that added pressure to keep going. Not because it's now or never, but rather because I've worked so hard to reach this point. I owe it to myself to persevere. Recently, I stumbled across a Pieta House beacon of hope in my hometown, Kildare Town. These beacons are strategically placed to remind us that, in our darkest hours, we must look for the light, a sign of hope, to keep going, and to remember, you are worthy of life. Feeling lost, you are not alone. A key message I hope to build on below. Learning to express yourself. You may have noticed on the right-hand column, there's a poem. I wrote it. I don't blame you if you haven't read it. Poetry isn't for everyone. Me included. Wait now, how does that make sense? He literally just said he wrote this poem. You say to yourself as you read that line. Bear with me, I shall explain. The reason I included the poem is to acknowledge that, like most things, you don't have to be the best at something, nor do you need to fully understand how it works before giving it a whirl. Like many people, I never really understood the purpose or value of poetry, especially in secondary school. Like, why are we even learning this stuff? A younger own once thought. But life happens, and without even realising it, you begin to look for means of expression, to be seen or heard, to release that burst of emotion bubbling under the surface, or even just to process and reflect. In other words, we tend to look for outs or escapes. Many find it through sports, others through drama, and let's not forget about music. Maybe you like to write passionately about how you are feeling, privately in a journal, or publicly online. How about that thrill of a live stage performance, a freeing exhilaration? Others just can't beat the proud sensation of putting on their club shirt, either lining up on the weekend or just being part of the pack. Or maybe aimlessly scrolling through streams of TikTok videos is your thing. Coping during COVID. Today, I wrote a poem. Some days I journal, others I run. I even draw occasionally, and would you believe, I also juggle, albeit averagely. My poem captures a journey, purposely 11 stanzas for 11 weeks, from orientation day in September up until that one glorious day my classmates and I were reunited for one day-long lecture, socially distant, in September. In December. That poem freed my clouded mind and ultimately inspired this piece, and a shorter version recently published by the Irish Times. Interestingly, It is what enabled me to relax, focus and reflect, to find the exact words I needed to process why I was feeling this way. Unearthing the why started the process of approaching the how to respond. In December, I took a well-needed time out. Like all major decisions that I confront, I ask myself, what's in your control and what's not? Immediately, I highlighted my bedroom as an issue. Living, working, sleeping, all in the one environment, was unhealthy. I aired my issues, and soon after, my grandmother offered her house as a study space. During the week, on the days she was in work. I can rewire my brain, while she gets to arrive home to a warm house after work. A win-win, she says. COVID restrictions are damaging the college experience. As I'm sure many third-level students will agree, online learning has sucked the life out of college. On a personal note, it has been a struggle, that's for sure. And if you're struggling when you're alone at night, Nightline is an online listening support for college students from 8:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. I anticipated the master's programme to be challenging. In fact, I'd be concerned otherwise. However, the additional layer of ever-changing COVID-19 restrictions has really upset routine. Most people in Ireland, and probably around the world, can relate. Finding a designated quiet space to focus and align your thoughts, separate from your day-to-day living space, can prove to be an uphill battle at times. As such, you may have the best intentions when starting your day, but control over how it unfolds in recent times has become slightly like a roll of the dice. Will the odds be in my favour today? Since starting postgraduate studies at the Department of International Development in Maynooth, I have felt warmly welcomed, a tribute to all the staff. It's been a truly challenging year, but they have been ever accommodating and reassuring. Thank you. And to my classmates, it's been a rollercoaster journey so far, but we have practiced resilience. We have shared many laughs to deal with frustrations and held virtual coffee chats to feel less isolated. Let's continue to share laughter and support one another throughout 2021. A beam of light and a message of hope. In conclusion, it's okay if you're feeling lost. Our minds are allowed to wander. We are allowed to feel, and we should express ourselves while respecting boundaries. No means of expression is better than the other. A combination may be preferred. The choice is yours. Whatever your choice, use it, own it, build on it, and feel free to change it. There are no rules. During these unprecedented times, we need to look after ourselves and look out for each other. Exploring new means of expression or encouraging others to find theirs may bring about a well-deserved break from reality. And remember, you are not alone. Owen's well-being tips. Change your environment. If possible, don't spend your entire day in one space. Take a break from social media. Embrace tea and chats with someone in your bubble. Talk with someone. Go for a walk, host a video call, or talk to a professional. Either through your college, such as Maynooth University Counselling, or privately. Personally, I've previously used an organisation called My Mind. If you're in distress, either needing a calming chat or immediate support, text HELLO to 50808.